You're being lied to. Everywhere you look, you're being told that Democrats aren't doing the work. They're not fighting back, not making noise. But that's not true. And the only people that assumption helps are Republicans, Trump, and David Ellison. So why help them? Why make it easier for them to gain support and sow distrust in others? I will say it's easier to blame Democrats. Republicans are never gonna do what you want, but Democrats often do. So you could change someone's mind and make them better if you blame them. But what if they're already doing what you want? What if you don't notice because you're too focused blaming them? For instance, Trump is super corrupt and getting richer through insider trading. We all know this. So when Democrats post about it, their comment sections read, "Do something." Well, did you know that Oregon 6 rep Andrea Salinas is trying to? Last week, she introduced the No Profit Act, or no official presidential returns on furtive individual trades. Basically, while the president can have stocks and bonds, they must put it into a blind trust, which means someone else controls it and they don't have access to it for the length of their term. And any profits they make on assets outside that blind trust will be taxed at 100%, with that money going back to the American people, which effectively bars a president from making a profit while in office. Rep. Salinas was on Way Too Early with Ali Vitale to explain why this bill is so important.
This president has already made about $1.5 billion by insider trading and these what are very specious ideas for investments that the federal government is involved in. So even the mere fact that it looks bad and it looks illegal should be reason to plug this hole.
And I know what you're thinking. Can it pass? Well, no, probably not. Not now anyway. Democrats are in the minority and Republicans aren't about to pass something that hinders Trump in any way. But does that mean it's not worth it, or she's not doing anything because she knows it can't pass? No, we have to try. And even when we have the majority, it might not pass because there are so many bills we need to pass and this could get lost. But taking the time to mold a bill and make it stronger is never a waste of time or an example of not doing something. But let's say that Trump's corruption isn't your main concern. I get it. He's awful, but the cost of living has gone up and you're working more hours for less money and you're having to choose between groceries and healthcare. Democrats are doing something for you too. Rep. Brendan Boyle of Pennsylvania 2 spoke on the big beautiful bill as we neared the anniversary of its passage, which was this past Saturday. He said that more than 5 million Americans have lost access to healthcare because of the law, and another 10 million have been projected to lose their healthcare by December when the cuts to Medicaid come into effect. Because remember, the Republicans made the worst parts of this bill come into effect after the midterms.
Bottom line is, as the Joint Committee on Taxation found, if you're in the bottom 1/3 of American households, you are poor today as a result of that legislation passing a year ago. But if you're in the top 1%, you made out like a bandit.
So how is posting this or even saying this doing anything? To make an actual impact in Congress, we need the majority. To get the majority, we need people to vote for Democrats. The more we can remind voters that Republicans are the reason they don't have health care, the more likely they vote for the alternative. Messaging is doing something. It's not always flashy, though sometimes it is, but it's still action. So now you have two more ways in which Democrats are making noise, doing the work and fighting back. You can tell your friends about Rep. Salinas's No Profit Act and remind them why they are losing their healthcare using the stats that Rep. Boyle gave. Sharing these stories and so many others like them are the best way we can combat these lies. So spread this post and press all the buttons, as it's the best way to support this work. And always remember my mantra: if you don't know it, you'll know it soon. Our voices are our superpower, but only when we use them. Bye.